When it comes to relationships, many men find themselves trapped by their emotions and the societal expectations placed upon them. They often elevate women to a status of reverence, constantly seeking attention and validation. In the process, they lose sight of their own worth and value. But what if I told you there's a way to break free from this cycle? There is a way to regain control, rebuild your self-esteem, and restore balance in your relationships. The key lies in reversing the psychology that governs most of our interactions. By understanding human nature, both biologically and psychologically, we can make changes that lead to healthier dynamics, not only in romantic relationships, but in every area of our lives. Believe me, these strategies work because they tap into deep elements of our evolutionary past. Marcus Aurelius once said, "The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts." By applying this wisdom, we learn to act, not react. It's about cultivating emotional strength and mastery over ourselves. In this video, we'll explore how to use Stoicism and reverse psychology to reinforce your self-esteem and ultimately increase your value as a man. Number 1. Avoid placing her on a pedestal. One of the most pervasive mistakes many men make in relationships is putting women on a pedestal. This is a common behavior where men place the woman they are with on a higher level, elevating her status above their own. They start to view her as someone perfect, someone who can do no wrong, while at the same time they begin to diminish their own worth in the process. The idea of putting someone on a pedestal can be seen as a form of idolization, where the man subconsciously starts to treat the woman as though she is above him, deserving of constant admiration, attention, and validation. In doing so, he undermines his own value, as he sacrifices his self-respect and personal integrity for the sake of keeping her on that pedestal. While this might seem romantic or self-sacrificial, the reality is that it creates an imbalance in the relationship dynamic. When you elevate someone to this level, you unintentionally create a gap between the two of you. This power imbalance is not only unattractive, but can also be detrimental to the relationship in the long run. Why? Because relationships are built on mutual respect and equality. When one person is put on a pedestal, it sends the message that they are superior, which naturally lowers your own perceived value in the eyes of your partner. This behavior doesn't just affect the immediate relationship, but stems from deeper, often unconscious psychological and biological factors. From a biological standpoint, humans, like other animals, are naturally drawn to strength, stability, and confidence. We are hardwired to seek out partners who project these qualities, as they are associated with survival and long-term success. When you elevate someone to a status of superiority, it can give off the impression of weakness or insecurity. Biologically speaking, submission or constant validation is not attractive. It makes the other person appear weak and dependent, and that diminishes your chances of keeping attraction alive. Marcus Aurelius, the Roman emperor and Stoic philosopher, understood this dynamic well when he said, "Never esteem anything as advantageous that will make you break your word or lose your self-respect." This statement is as true today as it was thousands of years ago. When you treat someone as though they are inherently superior, you break your own self-respect. In fact, by elevating someone to a higher pedestal, you are devaluing your own worth. You are telling them that you are not as important as they are, and that dynamic is, in most cases, unattractive to the other person. This doesn't just apply to romantic relationships, but to all types of human interactions. If you constantly put yourself below others, you will slowly lose your own sense of self and dignity. Think about it. Why would a woman be drawn to a man who treats her like a goddess while degrading himself? The natural human instinct is to desire a partner who is strong, confident, and secure in themselves. When you place a woman on a pedestal and treat her as if she is above you, it's as if you're saying that you don't have enough value on your own to stand next to her as equals. Women, just like men, are attracted to strength and emotional stability. They are drawn to men who can maintain their own sense of worth, who are not easily swayed or dependent on others for validation. Moreover, the brain is constantly assessing social status and hierarchies. It's part of our evolutionary programming. When you put a woman on a pedestal, your brain sends signals that position you as lower on the social hierarchy. This power imbalance immediately shifts the dynamics of attraction and respect. In relationships, the more balanced the status and emotional connection, the more genuine and lasting the attraction becomes. If you treat your partner as someone superior, your behavior and energy will reflect that, and the dynamic will shift into one of imbalance, eventually leading to resentment or disengagement. Women are naturally drawn to men who project strength and emotional resilience. It's this emotional strength, grounded in self-worth, that builds respect and maintains the attraction that keeps the relationship thriving. Stoicism teaches us to maintain balance in all aspects of life, including relationships. It's not about degrading others to make ourselves feel superior, but about understanding and embracing our own worth. By avoiding placing a woman on a pedestal, you not only preserve your dignity, but also preserve the balance that is essential to maintaining attraction. When you stay centered and grounded, you're able to maintain emotional control and respect in your relationships. You remain aware of your value and importance, which creates a healthy, balanced dynamic. When you stop idolizing someone else and start valuing yourself equally, it shifts the entire tone of the relationship, making it more equal, stable, and fulfilling for both partners. Remember, relationships thrive when both people are seen as equal partners, each bringing their own strengths to the table. When you elevate one person above the other, you disrupt this balance. So, stay centered, maintain your self-respect, and you'll be amazed at how the relationship will change when you no longer place her on a pedestal. Number 2. Master the silent treatment. The silent treatment, when used correctly, can be one of the most powerful psychological tools in relationships. However, it is important to understand that this technique is not about playing emotional games or manipulating the other person. It's not about using silence as a weapon or as a way to punish your partner. Instead, it's about creating a deliberate pause, a moment of emotional detachment, where both parties can reflect on the situation, assess their feelings, and come to terms with the relationship dynamics. This space is essential for creating clarity, maintaining emotional strength, and protecting your peace of mind. When used with integrity, the silent treatment can be incredibly effective because it triggers a powerful psychological response. Humans, by nature, are social creatures, and we thrive on communication and connection. When we are met with silence, especially from someone we care about, it creates a feeling of discomfort, uncertainty, and, at times, anxiety. This discomfort stems from the fear of being ignored or abandoned, a deep-rooted fear that we carry from our evolutionary past. The silent treatment activates the brain's emotional centers, particularly the amygdala, which is responsible for processing emotions like fear and survival. The amygdala is a part of the brain that helps us evaluate threats, and when it perceives the absence of communication, it often triggers a sense of alarm. In a relationship, when a partner withdraws emotionally, it forces the other person to pause and reflect on their actions. This interruption in the usual flow of communication leads to introspection, causing the person to reevaluate their behavior, their role in the relationship, and their emotional investment. They are forced to think about the impact of their actions and, most importantly, what the silence might mean. Marcus Aurelius, a philosopher known for his Stoic principles, recognized the power of silence and used it to maintain his emotional control. Stoicism, which emphasizes the importance of emotional self-regulation and clarity, teaches that silence is not a form of aggression, but rather a tool for personal strength. The Stoics practiced silence to gain perspective, remove themselves from emotional turmoil, and maintain peace of mind. They understood that reacting immediately out of anger, frustration, or confusion often led to poor decisions and could further escalate conflict. Instead, they advocated for taking a step back and allowing time and space to bring clarity to a situation. In relationships, silence can act as a powerful reset button. When you stop talking and disengage emotionally, it prevents the situation from escalating into further arguments or emotional outbursts. The key here is not to use silence as a means of manipulation or as a way to create emotional distance without purpose. Instead, silence should be used strategically to allow both you and your partner the time and space needed to reflect on the issue at hand. This pause allows emotions to settle and helps prevent impulsive reactions that might cause irreparable damage to the relationship. One of the greatest benefits of mastering the silent treatment is that it forces the other person to confront their behavior. When you stop chasing, stop reacting, and withdraw emotionally, the other person is left with their own thoughts. Silence often creates an emotional void that the other person feels compelled to fill. The person receiving the silent treatment will naturally wonder why the communication has stopped, which triggers curiosity and concern. In most cases, this will lead them to initiate contact and engage in a deeper reflection of the relationship and their actions. They will begin to ask themselves questions. What did I do wrong? Why is he pulling away? Is this relationship in trouble? When used in moderation, the silent treatment can lead to meaningful discussions and resolution. It allows the other person to come to terms with their actions, giving them an opportunity to realize their mistakes or missteps without feeling attacked or confronted in the moment. It also allows you to retain control over your emotions, giving you the strength to act from a place of clarity rather than emotional reactivity. However, it's important to note that while silence can be a powerful tool, it must be used sparingly. Overuse of the silent treatment can lead to emotional disconnection and feelings of resentment. If you consistently use silence to withdraw from your partner, it may create a sense of emotional abandonment, which can harm the trust and intimacy in the relationship. The goal is not to shut your partner out permanently, but to create a temporary break where both of you can step back, gain perspective, and come back to the issue at hand with a clearer and more rational mindset. Emotional strength is the foundation of a high-value individual. This strength doesn't come from external validation or the need to constantly explain yourself, but from the ability to remain calm and composed in the face of conflict. The silent treatment, when used correctly, reinforces this emotional resilience. It gives you the space to process your feelings, regain control over your emotional responses, and ultimately return to the relationship with a clearer sense of purpose. To master the silent treatment effectively, it's crucial to understand its purpose. The goal is not to create emotional distance or cause your partner to feel rejected. Instead, it's to create space for both of you to process your emotions and reframe the situation from a place of emotional balance and strength. When you learn to use silence with intention and purpose, you'll find that it can strengthen your relationships, improve communication, and increase the level of respect and emotional stability between you and your partner. Number 3, don't beg for her attention. One of the most destructive behaviors in any relationship is begging for attention, especially when it comes to men trying to win or maintain the affection of their partner. This desperate plea for attention is often a sign of insecurity and emotional weakness, both of which can quickly destroy attraction and respect. While it might feel like a natural response in moments of fear or doubt, begging for attention only serves to devalue you and your worth in the eyes of your partner. Women, just like men, are instinctively drawn to confidence, emotional stability, and strength. Begging for attention sends the opposite message. It signals that you are needy, dependent, and willing to compromise your own dignity for validation. In relationships, one of the most important dynamics to maintain is a sense of mutual respect. If you constantly seek your partner's attention through desperate actions, whether it's excessive calls, messages, or even going out of your way to please her, what you are really doing is undermining your own value. You are placing your worth in her hands, making her the center of your emotional universe while losing sight of your own individual needs and self-respect. And this shift in dynamics can be dangerously disempowering. Biologically speaking, women are wired to respond to emotional strength and stability in their partners. When a man constantly seeks attention or validation from his partner, it creates an imbalance. You're no longer seen as an equal. Instead, you become someone who depends on the attention of others to feel good about yourself. This neediness is often subconsciously perceived as a sign of weakness, which is unattractive to most people. It's not just the overt act of begging that repels, it's the emotional energy behind it, the desperation to fill a void that can never be filled by another person. This pattern of behavior can also trigger a negative cycle in the relationship. When you beg for attention, you position yourself as someone who cannot be emotionally fulfilled on your own. Over time, this leads to emotional dependence, which creates more tension, insecurity, and dissatisfaction in both partners. The more you beg for attention, the less you value yourself, and the less respect and attraction you receive in return. At a subconscious level, women appreciate and are more attracted to men who maintain their own emotional independence. This doesn't mean being cold, detached, or unfeeling. It means understanding that your self-worth isn't contingent on anyone else's actions, including your partner's. It's about cultivating emotional strength, self-sufficiency, and a deep sense of self-respect. When you value yourself and are secure in who you are, the need for constant validation from others diminishes. This shift not only increases your emotional well-being, but also makes you more attractive to others. This is why the act of begging for attention should be avoided at all costs. Instead of chasing your partner or constantly seeking her approval, focus on your own personal growth and goals. By building a life of purpose, cultivating interests outside of the relationship, and continuing to improve yourself as an individual, you will naturally become more attractive. It's not about trying to impress your partner or prove your worth to her. It's about living your life authentically, without relying on external validation. When you live with intention and confidence, you become naturally magnetic. Moreover, when you stop begging for attention, you stop playing into the dynamics of neediness. This doesn't mean ignoring your partner or treating her indifferently, but rather learning to communicate and express your needs without falling into the trap of desperation. Healthy relationships are built on balance and respect. When you are able to show up for your partner without losing yourself in the process, you maintain both your sense of self and the integrity of the relationship. This sense of emotional self-sufficiency allows your partner to see you as someone who is secure, confident, and worthy of respect. If you want to maintain healthy attraction in your relationship, it's vital that you stop chasing or begging for attention. Instead, focus on nurturing your own emotional resilience and inner peace. When you're secure in who you are, you will naturally become more appealing, and your partner will feel more inclined to give you attention and affection, not because you begged for it, but because you've shown that you are a man who knows his value and is not afraid to stand firm in it. It's also crucial to understand that relationships thrive on respect, not manipulation. If you seek attention in manipulative ways, whether it's through guilt trips, silent treatment, or playing games, you risk undermining the foundation of your relationship. This behavior may lead to temporary moments of attention, but it ultimately erodes trust and emotional connection. Women are highly perceptive and can sense when someone is being insincere or trying to manipulate them. The best way to earn their respect and attention is by being genuine, authentic, and emotionally secure. One of the most powerful things you can do in your relationship is to stop begging for attention and instead focus on strengthening your emotional core. When you do this, not only will you find that the attention you seek comes naturally, but you will also feel more confident, fulfilled, and at peace within yourself. As you stop chasing validation from your partner, you begin to cultivate an environment where both partners can thrive independently and together, resulting in a stronger, more balanced relationship. Number 4, maintain emotional strength. Emotional strength is one of the most crucial traits that contribute to a high-value individual and a successful relationship. It's the ability to keep your composure, regulate your emotions, and not allow external circumstances to dictate your internal state. Many men believe that showing their emotions, especially in relationships, means they have to express every thought or feeling immediately, which often leads to oversharing or emotional outbursts. However, true emotional strength lies in the ability to manage those feelings, respond thoughtfully, and maintain stability, regardless of what's happening around you. At its core, emotional strength is about resilience, the capacity to face life's challenges without losing your sense of self. In a relationship, it becomes even more critical because it helps you navigate difficult situations, conflicts, and moments of vulnerability without feeling overwhelmed. If you're constantly reacting to emotional triggers, whether it's jealousy, frustration, or insecurity, you put yourself and your relationship in a position where stability is compromised. Emotional stability is an attractive quality because it signifies that you're in control of your emotions and that you can handle any situation without falling apart. It shows that you're not easily swayed by minor setbacks or momentary frustrations, making you a grounded and reliable partner. Women, just like men, crave emotional stability in a partner. They want someone they can rely on in times of stress or uncertainty. When you allow your emotions to take control, it often signals to your partner that you're not strong enough to weather the storm, which can erode her respect for you over time. On the other hand, when you maintain emotional composure, you project strength and security, which are essential qualities in building attraction and trust. Being emotionally strong doesn't mean suppressing your emotions or pretending that everything is fine when it's not. It means acknowledging your feelings and then making a conscious decision not to let them control your actions or decisions. The Stoic philosophers, such as Marcus Aurelius, emphasized the importance of mastering one's emotions in order to maintain peace of mind and act in accordance with reason rather than being at the mercy of one's impulses. Emotional strength means choosing how to respond to situations rather than allowing circumstances to dictate your behavior. The ability to regulate your emotions leads to better decision-making, clearer communication, and more effective conflict resolution in relationships. For instance, when faced with a disagreement or difficult conversation with your partner, your emotional strength will allow you to remain calm and composed, making it easier to listen to her perspective and express your own in a respectful manner. You won't feel the need to escalate the situation out of frustration or anger. Instead, you'll be able to maintain clarity of thought, choose your words wisely, and approach the situation with a mindset that focuses on resolution rather than blame. The opposite of emotional strength is emotional reactivity. When you react impulsively to every feeling or situation, you lose the opportunity to respond thoughtfully. This can lead to heated arguments, miscommunication, and emotional burnout. Relationships thrive when both partners are able to stay calm and composed, even in difficult situations. If you want to be the kind of partner who is dependable and emotionally resilient, you need to practice emotional regulation. Biologically, when we experience heightened emotions, our body releases stress hormones such as cortisol, which can cloud our judgment and impair our ability to think clearly. On the other hand, when we practice emotional strength and maintain a sense of calm, our body responds by releasing feel-good hormones like serotonin and oxytocin. These not only improve our mood, but also help to maintain positive interactions and a stronger connection with our partner. Additionally, emotional strength is closely tied to self-awareness. The more you understand your emotional triggers, the better equipped you are to manage your responses. Self-awareness allows you to recognize when you're feeling overwhelmed or anxious, and instead of letting those feelings control you, you can choose to take a step back, breathe, and reassess the situation with a clear mind. By being aware of your emotions, you become less likely to make rash decisions or act in ways that undermine your self-respect and the respect of those around you. This strength also has a ripple effect on the people around you. When your partner sees you maintain your composure in difficult situations, it encourages her to do the same. It creates a balanced dynamic in the relationship, where both partners are able to express themselves without fear of emotional overreaction or conflict. This not only deepens trust, but also fosters a sense of mutual respect and admiration. The Stoics taught that emotional control is essential for a virtuous life, and this is just as true in relationships. The more you practice emotional strength, the more you'll realize that you are capable of handling almost anything that comes your way. Whether it's a challenging conversation, a stressful life event, or a minor conflict with your partner, you will always have the inner strength to rise above it. Emotional strength also ties into another essential quality of high-value men: independence. When you have emotional strength, you are not dependent on others for validation or emotional support. You are your own source of peace and security. This independence is incredibly attractive because it shows that you are not reliant on others to feel good about yourself. This independence allows you to enter a relationship as a whole person, rather than someone looking to fill a void or seeking constant reassurance. You are secure in who you are, and this sense of security allows you to be emotionally available for your partner in a balanced, healthy way. In relationships, emotional strength becomes a foundation on which you build trust, intimacy, and respect. It ensures that you're able to communicate effectively, handle conflicts in a mature and constructive way, and support your partner through both good times and bad. It helps you maintain a sense of inner peace, regardless of external circumstances, and makes you a solid, reliable partner. As Seneca, one of the great Stoics, said, "We suffer more in imagination than in reality." Much of our emotional turmoil comes from imagined fears or overblown reactions. By mastering emotional strength, we can prevent ourselves from spiraling into unnecessary anxiety, doubts, or frustration, and instead act from a place of calm, clarity, and rationality. Ultimately, emotional strength is about being in control of yourself, not trying to control others or the situation. It's about handling life's challenges with grace, confidence, and resilience. The more you cultivate emotional strength, the more it will positively impact your relationship and your personal life. Number 5, elevate your self-esteem. Self-esteem is one of the most powerful forces that influence every aspect of your life, from how you view yourself to how others perceive you, especially in relationships. If you don't value yourself, how can you expect anyone else to do so? This fundamental truth is something that high-value men understand deeply. They know that self-worth is not determined by external validation or the approval of others, but by how they feel about themselves on the inside. Your self-esteem shapes your identity, your decisions, and your interactions with the world. At the heart of self-esteem is the belief that you are worthy, not because of what you do or how others treat you, but simply because you are. This understanding can transform your life in profound ways. When you believe in your own value, you carry yourself with confidence, make decisions that reflect your worth, and attract people who respect and appreciate you. On the other hand, when you lack self-esteem, you send signals to others that you don't value yourself, which ultimately erodes the respect and admiration you might otherwise receive. Self-esteem is, in many ways, a self-fulfilling prophecy. What you believe about yourself influences your behavior, which in turn influences how others treat you. If you see yourself as valuable, you will act in ways that reinforce that belief, setting boundaries, making assertive decisions, and holding yourself to high standards. Conversely, if you see yourself as unworthy or inadequate, you may tolerate mistreatment, shrink in the face of challenges, or avoid pursuing opportunities that could elevate your life. Marcus Aurelius, the Stoic philosopher and Roman emperor, understood the immense power of self-esteem. He said, "The soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts." In other words, how we think about ourselves profoundly affects who we are and how we experience the world. If you believe you have little value or are incapable of achieving greatness, that belief will manifest in your actions and in how others treat you. But if you believe in your own worth, you begin to act in ways that reinforce that belief, holding yourself to a higher standard, pursuing meaningful goals, and investing in personal growth. Self-esteem is not about arrogance or being narcissistic. It's about self-respect and recognizing your intrinsic worth. When you have high self-esteem, you understand that you are worthy of love, respect, and success, not because of your achievements or how others view you, but because you are inherently valuable. This inner knowing doesn't come from external praise or recognition, but from a deep, quiet confidence in who you are as a person. This kind of self-esteem is the cornerstone of personal and professional success. When you respect yourself, you make decisions that reflect your values and aspirations, not decisions driven by insecurity or the need for external validation. For instance, in relationships, someone with high self-esteem does not tolerate mistreatment or disrespect. They have the courage to walk away from situations that are not serving them, because they understand that their worth is not determined by someone else's behavior. They set healthy boundaries, knowing that they deserve to be treated with respect and care. Studies have shown that individuals with high self-esteem are more likely to experience positive emotions, achieve their goals, and maintain healthy relationships. High self-esteem is associated with higher levels of serotonin and other feel-good neurotransmitters, which improve mood, resilience, and overall well-being. When you elevate your self-esteem, not only does your mood improve, but your perspective on life shifts. You stop seeing yourself as a victim of circumstances and begin to see yourself as someone capable of overcoming challenges and achieving greatness. Elevating your self-esteem involves several key practices. First, it's about becoming aware of your internal dialogue. What do you say to yourself when you look in the mirror? What do you say when you face a challenge or failure? Do you lift yourself up with positive affirmations, or do you tear yourself down with criticism and self-doubt? Your thoughts have a profound impact on your self-esteem, and it's crucial to learn how to replace negative self-talk with empowering, affirming thoughts. Practice saying to yourself, "I am worthy of success. I am capable of achieving my goals, and I deserve respect and love." Over time, these positive affirmations will begin to shape how you see yourself, gradually raising your self-esteem. Another crucial step in elevating your self-esteem is taking care of yourself, physically, emotionally, and mentally. Taking care of your health and well-being sends a clear message to yourself and others that you value yourself. Engage in activities that nourish your body and mind, whether it's exercising, eating well, practicing mindfulness, or pursuing a hobby that brings you joy. Self-care is not a luxury. It's a necessity for maintaining a healthy sense of self-worth. Additionally, surrounding yourself with positive, supportive people is essential for elevating your self-esteem. The people you spend time with influence your thoughts, feelings, and actions. If you are constantly surrounded by negative, toxic individuals who tear you down or make you feel unworthy, your self-esteem will inevitably suffer. On the other hand, when you surround yourself with people who uplift and encourage you, who value you for who you are, your self-esteem naturally rises. Seek out relationships that are based on mutual respect, trust, and support. Another key aspect of self-esteem is setting and achieving goals. When you set goals for yourself and follow through on them, you send a powerful message to yourself that you are capable, driven, and worthy of success. This builds your self-esteem because it reinforces your belief in your abilities and your value. Start with small goals that are achievable and celebrate your progress along the way. As you accomplish more, your self-esteem will continue to grow, and you'll begin to see yourself as someone who is capable of achieving great things. Furthermore, learning to forgive yourself for past mistakes is an essential part of elevating your self-esteem. Many people carry the weight of past failures, guilt, or regrets, and these negative emotions can seriously damage self-worth. It's important to understand that making mistakes is a part of being human. What matters most is how you learn from those mistakes and use them to grow. Practice self-compassion, forgive yourself for past errors, and commit to moving forward with a stronger sense of purpose and determination. The more you let go of guilt and self-blame, the higher your self-esteem will rise. Lastly, understanding that self-esteem is an ongoing process is crucial. It is not something that happens overnight, but rather something you cultivate every day through your thoughts, actions, and relationships. It's a journey of continual self-improvement and self-love. Remember that as you elevate your self-esteem, you will naturally attract the respect, admiration, and love of others. People are drawn to those who carry themselves with confidence and self-respect, and when you truly value yourself, others will begin to mirror that respect and appreciation. Self-esteem is the foundation upon which you build your life, and it is the key to attracting healthy, fulfilling relationships. When you recognize your own worth, you no longer need validation from external sources to feel good about yourself. You stop seeking approval from others and begin to live authentically, which is the ultimate key to happiness and success. As you elevate your self-esteem, you not only transform how you see yourself, but also how the world sees you. When you believe in your own value, the world will follow suit, and you'll find yourself in stronger, more meaningful relationships, both with yourself and with others. Conclusion. In conclusion, understanding and applying the principles of Stoicism, reverse psychology, and emotional control can fundamentally transform not only the way you approach relationships, but also the way you perceive and value yourself. By avoiding the common pitfalls of placing others on pedestals, begging for attention, or neglecting your own self-worth. You begin to reclaim your power, restore balance, and ultimately foster healthier, more meaningful connections. Elevating your self-esteem is not an overnight process, but a continuous journey of self-discovery and self-respect. When you learn to master your emotions, maintain your inner strength, and stay centered in your own worth, you create a life filled with greater purpose, clarity, and peace of mind. The relationship dynamics you desire can only thrive when you value yourself first, without needing others to define your worth. Remember, as Marcus Aurelius wisely said, the happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts. When you begin to believe in your own value, live authentically, and act from a place of emotional strength, you naturally become more attractive not only to others, but also to the best version of yourself. It's about time you stopped playing games and started living the life you were destined to lead. So ask yourself, are you ready to stop seeking approval and start living as the confident, self-respecting person you truly are? If the answer is yes, then the journey begins now. Take the first step toward reclaiming your power, restoring balance, and building a life that reflects your true worth. Let me know in the comments if you're ready to embrace this challenge, and for those who are committed to this journey of growth, I've left some videos to help you continue your path to mastery.